And hello, everybody. We are live, and today I have my fashion. Was it my fashion sidekick, color sidekick with me, Ramon from
Oh,
Scarab. He is joining me today, and as you can see, we are discussing red.
red.
Um, a very strong, very powerful, very deeply mystical, and primitive. When I say primitive, um, hold on. I live near near a field, so that was a loud plane. So it's primordial. Instead of using primitive, I'm going to use the word it's primordial. That's basically the volcano, the creation of Earth. So red is a very strong, powerful color. And I haven't done the series in a while, and I hadn't done red. And so I had asked Ramon because I kept seeing this beautiful red mandala behind him. I figured, oh, Ramon's favorite color must be red. So I said, just for the hell of it, Ramon, what's your favorite color? And then he comes
It's
back with
blue.
blue. But I said, Miss Sherry already joined me for blue, though we can always relook at blue at another time as well. But
um,
he was like, "What other colors haven't you done?" I said, "Well, I haven't done red, and I would really love to do red." And he was like, "Okay,
yeah,
let's do red." So we are here for red. Thank you for
yeah,
Ramon for joining
of
me.
course. And I was thinking
Um,
about red, like, oh, red. But no, then as much as I thought about it, red is such a powerful color because it's
mhm,
associated with so many things, with life, with death, with anger, with happiness, with love. And it's a color that it has so much significance, and one of the earliest colors used in art.
mhm.
It's from cave paintings. One of the first ones using clay and oxidized iron.
Mhm.
I actually
Okay.
have some examples. Yeah, uh, cave paintings. So some of the earliest cave paintings use red, and this one is from a cave in Spain. It's from the Ice Age, and throughout history, different cultures, there's always been an association with red. Um, Everybody looks great in red. Now that I was thinking about it, right? I don't think
Mhm.
there's anyone who doesn't look great in red,
Nope.
and it evokes so many beautiful things.
It does.
And as I'm drinking right now
Yes, I was gonna say
hibiscus tea.
everybody. I told Ramon before I saw he was drinking. I said, "Guess what? Shan's making me or made me hibiscus tea." And he goes, "Really?" So we both even have hibiscus tea. And this is the first time I'm trying it because Ramon suggested hibiscus, and that's part of the thumbnail.
Hmm.
Is the hibiscus. So I'm just going to take a quick sip.
Yeah, it comes from, of course, the hibiscus flowers. I use the
Mm,
bulk ones, but it's delicious. It's for diuretic. It helps with your blood pressure, and it tastes delicious. It's like nature's fruit punch.
yes, without
Yeah.
all the added extra sugar.
Hmm.
So let's get started really quick and say hi to some peeps. So Miss Nancy was here first. Red. Oh my, this is going to be wonderful. It will be. And hi, Heather Ramon. When I think of the color red, it brings passion, roses, and cardinals. Yes, I have a cardinal to mind. Oh, and juicy, ripe, sweet strawberries. Yes. Sherry, Voices from the Swamp, is here with us as well.
Hello.
And Tropical Empress, all red
Hi,
herself
Amanda.
with her beautiful red hearts. Well, red avatar. And she usually puts little hibiscus flowers as
Uh-huh.
well. And let's see who else we have here. I'm going to move up. So, yes, Amanda was able to join us. She's in the process of moving, but she was happy that she got the notification. So moving up, we have Mandy the Mystic Tarot. Hello, Mandy. She's in the UK, so she's joining us from across the pond. And Ange is here. Red, the color of life source. I love that red has so many different meanings, which I'm certain our amazing presenters will share with us shortly. Enjoy the show. Thank you, Ange. And yes, Ramon prepared an 8-page PDF file for us. So if there's anything that we, don't cover, we have plenty of other information to continue sharing. And you know that Ange is very excited about the red. She inserted every red emoticon into the chat. So you're so much fun. And love having you here. And let's see, chat just jumped. Okay. Oh, it really jumped. So, alrighty, I'm only about allowed to go back as far as Viviani. Hello, Viviani. So, any other comments I missed? I apologize. That's just StreamYard. It won't let me go back up. Courtney Elf is here. Hello, Courtney. And oh, so Allison's here. Okay. Hello, Allison. And let's see, Carmela is here, dusting away. Enjoy. Um, we got Serena, Scorpio Mama. Haven't seen you in a while. Hello, my dear. And Jackie, yes, it makes you powerful. And Jackie can pull off a gorgeous red. Just look at her picture in there. It's the color of, if you want to make it a good impression, they recommend wearing something red when you go to an interview or if you go to give a presentation or you go out into public and if you want to be seen wearing red or accessories of red um, is very helpful. And yes, sip, sip. And let's see, I wore a red t-shirt a few weeks ago and all these Americans from Cruise thought I was working there. They asked if they could get on the ship. I remember that. That was funny. But yeah, it's a very, I mean, color, the red is used in a ton of advertising, confidence and power. And one of my favorite drinks that's naughty that I have from time to time is, the famous Coca Cola, which I learned they took from a flag, I think from a South American country, because of them using in the early days the cocoa bean or the cocaine bean um, for their drinks. So lots of um, influences and uses in modern culture, pop culture, advertising. And hello,
Hmm.
Nalani. Thank you for being here. And yes, everybody, today is Fatima's 41st wedding anniversary. Excuse me, sweetie. So, congratulations. Enjoy your beautiful.
Congratulations.
I hate living on a main street where you hear all the noises. So, yes, enjoy your beautiful day, my dear. Thank you for popping in to spend some of it with us. And today is Nalani's birthday. Well, happy 64th birthday, Nalani. And that's
Cancer.
Hypnicity. So, all righty. Well, I was telling Ramon that I was trying to get for fun, I thought I would try to do a red poem. So, do you mind if I kind of get us started with that poem, Ramon?
Go ahead.
All
Go ahead.
righty. So I have it like written in two places, and it's not a long one, but I had fun. I'll probably rewrite and work on it for Sunday.
I would have written one if I knew.
What are my little what do you call that? My secret weapons for today or not? Because I told Ramon last night, oh, I'm working on something special, and he's like, what? And I said, I'll give you a hint, and I put a little music sign. He goes, oh, you mean songs with the word red in it? I went, damn. But of course,
Oh,
what
you didn't
show
say
isn't?
poem. Ah,
So, all righty.
next time. Naughty.
Yes, I am. So, okay. All righty. Pele, Queen of Fire. Will this scar let me rest within these vermilion coals of passion and regret? Spitting and hissing liquid hematite, lava burning bright, crafting cochineal or cochineal, it's a type of red, crafting cochineal scales forged from your core, this dragon's blood roiling through veins, memories contained in crimson velvet folds, deep rooted, rubia peregrina, alchemize my dreams within a flagration of alizarin visions, dusting remains of Pompeii and Egyptian shrouds, unfurling hibiscus petals falling at your feet like tons ravaging twilight's cinnabar sky, this wax poetica in Shiseido red. Perfume of tuber rose, burgundy and lush, wafting through temples dappled with ruby stitched silken scarves, drifting in the breeze. And Kate, alluring, sings with her voice of burgundy. of red shoes, ballet slippers, arabesque, and sipping glasses of strawberry wine, toasting to all the reds that got left behind. So not all the reds, but
Mm,
so that was the so that's what I brought for fun today.
nice.
And when I say Kate going into music, I'm referring to Kate Bush. She had a CD
Mm,
that came out in 1993 called Red Shoes, and it was kind of like based a little bit or inspired by the Red Shoes ballet from 1948 with the ballet slippers.
mm.
So that's my poem creativity, for the show.
Very nice.
My little personal touch.
Good.
And Lottie B is here. Hello, Lottie B. Beautiful pianist. Everyone wishing her. Thank you for all the happy birthday wishes to Nalani, and the happy anniversary ones for Fatima. Thank you, Nancy, and thank you, Amanda, and thank you, Ange. All righty. How would you like to start, my guest?
um, I would like to start saying that you look good in that red.
Oh,
It's
Lady in Red.
I like
Remember
this
that
red
song?
too.
Yeah.
I like this red too. But it's how red is red. What do we define as red, right? Because
Mhm.
from the spectrum of colors, where does orange start and where does red start, right? Where does
Mhm.
red start or end? Does it
They
start in
blend.
orange? It ends in green? Like we don't know. So a lot of these things are subjective. Then we use the word red
Mhm.
also in subjective ways, right? We
Mhm.
say a red sky, and in reality, if we compare in terms of scales of color, it's like an orange, right? A
Mhm.
red-headed person, the hair usually is sort of like a dark orange as well. For me,
Mhm.
red-headed is like Ronald McDonald, right?
There you go. There's the advertising. Yep.
Yes. And we have this chart of colors, and there's so many names for different shades of red.
Mhm.
We have race card stripe. This is a tone of red. We have stiletto love, another shade of red. We have Morocco red. And if we see, we can tell the difference between all these different ones.
Mhm.
Firecracker.
Ooh, I like that
So
one.
yeah, so red, the term red could be very subjective in it, and it's but we all have a general idea of what red looks like and what it doesn't,
Mhm.
right? But we have to take a step back. So we have to go. Let's go back a little bit in terms of the theory of color and electromagnetism. It all starts with the sun, right? So there's in the broad spectrum of what we call electromagnetic radiation, the sun emits a lot of different types of waves, and some we can perceive with our eyes, and other we can experience through different means. So there's seven different types of um, wavelengths that we get from the sun. First one is radio waves, and that's the weakest one. The next one in terms of strength are microwaves, and we know microwaves through the property of being able to heat. Infrared is the third one, and I have here an illustration. Infrared will be the third one, and we perceive that as heat. The fourth one is visible light, which is what we experience through our eyes. And within the visible light, there's also other waves, which are the ones that define the colors. Then after that, we have ultraviolet, then X rays, and the strongest one are gamma rays, right? So the visible light is the one that we can perceive, and that's the one that creates the properties of colors. There's seven colors in the spectrum of light, and it goes from red, which is the weakest one or the one with the longest wavelength, and violet, which is the one with the shortest wavelength. And when we're talking about wavelength, we're talking about the distance between one crest and another. The longer the crest, the the less powerful it is. Violet is the strongest one. Now, the spectrum in terms of wavelengths goes beyond here and beyond here as well. So the weakest one from in terms of that goes beyond red, what do you think it is, Heather? Can you guess?
Wait a minute. What was the question?
What's the wavelength that it's weaker than red that could
I
go
would.
beyond red?
I want to say ultraviolet, but I don't think so. Or
No,
magenta? No,
no, you're kind of close. It's infrared.
infrared.
Infrared is weaker, but it's also stronger in terms we perceive it in terms of heat. And ultraviolet, it's
Yep.
much stronger in terms of wavelength, but we can't perceive it. So the way it works is these wavelengths hit the surface of objects, and the objects absorb all these wavelengths and only reflects or rejects the ones we see. So, like for example, all these wavelengths from the visible light are hitting my
Mhm.
shirt, right? They're absorbing all of these except red. So it's
Oh my.
reflecting red, and that's how we perceive it. Objects that are white, what they're doing is they're rejecting all of them. So if I see like this piece of paper, for example, it's all these wavelengths are hitting the surface of this paper, but it's rejecting all of them. So it reflects all of these together would become white. And with black is the opposite. It's actually black is saying, I like all these wavelengths. So I'm taking them all and I'm not giving
Yummy.
you any color, right? So that's how us humans perceive different colors. And uh, we as humans have the property of being able to perceive red. Now, that's not the experience with different organisms that we have around us. We're able to perceive light because we have what's called trichromatic vision. We're able to perceive different colors, and one of them includes red. And that's the same case with primates. Um, Birds are able to perceive red, but they have four types of cones, and it's called tetrachromatic, and it allows them to see ultraviolet as well, so they can see all these different wavelengths, but a little bit further up. Other animals like fish, salmon, for example, they can see infrared. Now, that's not the case with all different animals. So, like for example, dogs have dichromatic vision, two types of cones. So they see mostly in blues and yellows. They're not able to see red, for example. They can't see red. They see it as a shade of gray. Um, they don't see green. They see it also as a shade of gray, or even sort of like a dark brown. Um, Yeah, so we know red as a primary color,
Mm-hmm.
one of the three colors that are
Yeah,
primary
the color
in
wheel.
terms,
Yep.
yeah, in the color wheel. The other two being yellow and blue,
Blue.
right?
Yep.
But red is not always a primary color for all different color scales.
Yep.
In terms of art, red, yellow, and blue. Um, in terms of uh, the color scales for monitors, TVs, it's red, yellow, and green. Red, yellow, and
Okay.
green for
Okay.
monitors.
I'm thinking the other.
For
Yes,
printing
there
is
we go. The
different.
printing. Yep.
Yeah, for printing, red is a secondary color. It's cyan, yellow, magenta,
Magenta.
and key, which is black. Actually, red as a secondary color comes from the combination of magenta and yellow. And you would think, like, how does that happen?
Yeah.
It's a technique called subtractive color. So when those two colors are combined, it subtract the 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 light on one of them, and it becomes red,
Mm-hmm.
right?
And then when it comes to colors, you have shades and you have tints. You got values when it comes to art. So just
Mm-hmm.
sneak in a little bit of fine art, in
Yeah.
there.
Mm-hmm.
And we've had some fun comments, Ramon, so far. Um, Ange said, "Oh my God, Ramon, yes, you went there when you pulled out the visuals." So
Oh,
yes, we all know that that's Ramon. He needs
I
to have
haven't even gotten
visuals.
started.
Um, and then Allison is like, okay, now it's time for a quiz. Who was paying attention? So at the end of this episode, there will be a pop quiz. Um, Patrick Terrell, hello, Jennifer. My Aunt Margaret had a large prism. I used to love splitting the sunlight with it to
Hmm.
see the different colors. So yes, and she
Yes,
says
the
my husband.
mhm.
Oh,
Yeah, the best way to see that is through a prism. So we get the visible light, the white light, and what the prism does, which is the same case as droplets in the air after it rains, the light goes through that, and what it does is that ray of light slows down, and it allows it to break it in its different components. So we see all seven colors of the rainbow.
like a
Um,
ray of light, she's
like a ray of
flying.
uh-huh.
We had a prima donna in there. Yes, I did. For people are
Yeah,
like,
and
what is she talking
those
about?
seven, yeah, those seven colors are red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo,
Yep.
and violet. Right
Indigo. Yep.
now, you might ask, okay, so if those are the basic colors that the human eye perceives, how come pink is not there, or I don't know, turquoise, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because those colors, uh, the object, what it does, it bounces back several lengths, several wavelengths of light. So, for example, in the case of pink in reality is an unsaturated red. So it reflects back a weaker wavelength of red. In
Mm-hmm.
the case of indigo, it's a blue with a little bit of yellow and the green, and that combination. There's several wavelengths that are being reflected back, and we perceive it that way, right?
Yes. And Ange says, when we are born, we only see in black and white, and we don't start seeing color until 2 to 4 months old. So I did not know that. So I learned something too from Ange. See, we all come and we all learn something from each other. And there was another comment, I think. Nope, I got them all. Alrighty. And there are multitudes of colors that our eyes can't see. Exactly. That's why
Mhm.
some people who come back from an NDE experience, a near death experience, they say that when they're on the other side, they sometimes go to the dimension or wherever they are where there's colors that they've never seen before. Or when people astral project to other planets or planes of existence, there are colors that the human, they that they can't quite explain. I mean, they're just colors
Mhm.
that are so different.
I mean, because we have to see a color as a physical property. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's on one side, and on the other side, our perception of how we collect that information.
Yep. And
Mhm.
so Ramon and I both have the secret language of color cards. And what was your favorite, Ramon, out of all the reds? Do you have them out in front of you, or do you want me to pull
I
mine up and show?
Yeah, I have them here. Um,
For me, one of my favorites is the cherry. I love the deep, rich, dark reds of the cherry, and live an extraordinary life. Great message for
mm,
that one. And Nalani says, vibrancy is augmented beyond the veil. It sure is.
yeah, ruby. I think ruby.
Yes, I love how
Ruby.
she used the facet of a
Mm-hmm.
ruby of diamond, or I mean
Yeah, you can
precision.
see the different
Beautiful.
shades of red right
Mm-hmm.
there.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the different values and tints. The red
And
really struck me was that beautiful red.
oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And red is, I
Burgundy.
mean, so when we're talking about scales of color, okay, what difference does one scale or one shade of red does against the other? It has a lot of implications, right?
Mm-hmm.
In terms of, could be identity. Just imagine different companies use red as their logo. Uh, Netflix, for example, YouTube, right? Coca
Yep.
Cola, Pizza Hut,
Mm-hmm.
um, CNN. So just imagine like the YouTube icon in a different shade of red. Right away, you're gonna feel like, oh, there's something off, because that's
I
not
would tell
part
people.
of their identity. It also has a financial implication. Um, because, for example, one of the most expensive color of glass to make is red. Why? Because it has to have gold in the process. Otherwise, you're not able to achieve red. So there is a financial implication as well. The amount of ink or tincture that of the processing of a product might have. So, like, a shade in itself has a lot of implications as well, in terms of identity, financial, etc.
And Miss Taro D has joined us.
Hello, Miss Harold D.
And yes, Flo, you are making me hungry. Wendy's is also another. Oh, and Kentucky Fried Chicken. A lot of place where you put that little bit of touch of red
Hmm.
is what really captures people's attention. And Lottie, the cards are beautiful. I think they're inexpensive. When I got my deck, it was like maybe 20, if that. And the color doesn't show up very well on my camera. But the images, oh, that's a different deck. But the cards, they do show up. The colors are very nice. I accidentally pulled out my crystal cards, which I'll be sharing in a second. But yeah, I recommend those cards.
Yeah.
And good afternoon, friends. Hello, Miss Taro D. Um, and let's see. Mine did
Miss Harold
choose a
D,
rose.
if you just got in, rewind or go back to the video, because we went from the beginning in terms of like the physical properties of colors.
Yes, and
We
Ramon
didn't
gave us
go.
a visual presentation. He printed up
Yeah.
everything, and we got. And
Hmm.
Allison said too, make sure if you rewatch, there's going to be a quiz at the end. Pop quiz. So, but the real divas wear purple. You know what I'm saying?
Mm, says who?
Uh, Says Miss Tarot D. Now, come
D-
on now.
Tarot
She
diva.
Miss Tarot Diva.
Diva.
Yes. Um. So, and if you drive a red car, your insurance will automatically be more money.
That
Yes,
is true.
that
You're
is
more
very true.
likely to be stopped by the police as well, because they perceive red cars as cars that drive really fast. They're perceived as aggression. That's
Mm-hmm.
actually part of some of the
And you
facts that
see
I
it.
pulled.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Miss Empress, yes, you went there, and that's okay. And I'm glad you did. I'm going to put myself on a little bit of a big screen. And, gentlemen can read this too if you want, but this came up, I think, about 6 years ago. I saw a video. I don't really resonate much because my life, has changed. This may go back to, I'm just looking for the year, 2013 and then 2015. Sarah Beck wrote a book called Red, Hot, and Holy, a heretic's love story. So this is basically her story about reconnecting with the power of red, with her sexuality, with and it's all about basically female sexuality, sensuality. And I haven't read in a while. There may be some references for um, men, who are also connecting with their divine feminine or their feminine side. But everything is all kind of colored, with red in there as well. And I do believe she talks about the red tent in the past, when they would get together, and during their moon cycles, their menstruation cycles, it would be seen as a powerful time. A beautiful sacred tent was created for the women to go and to share song, share spirit, and connect to their divinity. So a lot of wonderful information in there if you're exploring a path of reawakening the female sexuality, sensuality, and the divine as well. So it's one of the books that I had brought with me, and I know
Hmm.
this is jumping, um, so I'm not going to be able to. Okay, there's Miss Carol D's comment already. Purple in any shade. Is there anything better? Oh, I don't know, maybe indigo, but sometimes there's certain shades of indigo that have a touch of purple in there. So, and let's see, Allison said, red and yellow are colors I do not at all care for. However, there are shades of each that I do like. Very interesting. It's how they resonate with us. Just like
Yeah.
our tarot
It de-
cards.
depends on what object we're talking about too, because I don't like orange for or green for clothing.
Yep.
Uh, but for other things that they look beautiful.
And everyone's talking about blues and purples.
Yeah, I'm more
Saint and
about
green.
more blue.
Hmm. Yes, thank you, Jennifer. She also has an album. Yeah, an album. Excuse me, a book simply titled "The Red Book" as well. So she's there in the stores. She's very interesting. So I'm making sure, very insightful. Alrighty. So just really quick, I have
Hmm.
my crystal cards in front of me. So I'm just going to share some of my crystal cards for my one deck that I have. Well, I have a couple, and I have a few little examples. Ramon, do you have any crystals or crystal cards that you brought out?
Yes.
Okay.
Hmm.
So for me, I'm going to put myself on the big screen to share the cards. I have Cinnabar, and this is from, oh my goodness, I can never remember the name of this deck. How embarrassing. I'll have to find it later on, but it's the Healing Crystals Oracle deck, I believe is the name. And it's my favorite deck. I should know the author and the name. Um, but I have Cinnabar, which in her deck represents business. And the red color, too, is associated with our sacred base chakra. And I think Ramon's probably got some information on his PDF file about that as well, because you can see the chakra, some of the chakra symbolism and imagery behind some of these
Hmm.
stones. We have pipe stone,
Because red
Cameron.
represents the root chakra.
There you go.
Yeah.
Ancestors, the root carnelian, which I have several um, pieces of my own self confidence, um, root and sacral chakras, and I can share a couple of those really quick and get those back into their proper holders. I have the carnelian here, a very dark red, but then I also have a carnelian that I held up earlier that has all the variations of red and the orange, just like Ramon was talking about earlier. How red goes from the color spectrum reds into the oranges. And another one with some white in it. And one that's pretty much orange. So those are my carnelians I wanted to share. And I don't think I have a card in here representing fire opal. So I do, and I love my opals. So there's my fire opal that I have too. And next would be the garnet. I like the really deep reds. This is beautiful. This is garnet. Garnet representing in her deck commitment, and not just connected to the sacral and the base chakras, but also to the heart. We have ruby, another beautiful card with the facet of the ruby on it, and that's about passion, root in your sacral chakras, and zinzite, physical body, root chakra, and then just a few more from a deck that was gifted to me. Um, I do have the box here. I was telling Ramon backstage I have very little room, and I'm trying to find a place where I put everything. And it's called the Crystal Mandala Oracle by Alana Fairchild. Her name is very familiar in our community with her cards, and there were just a couple I wanted to share. Um, so for the fire agate, the goddess Sekhmet, and she's Egyptian, passion of the lion heart. She is a lion cat goddess in Egypt. Then we have the goddess Persephone, and she was given the ruby in this deck. The inner queen, that's in all of us. And I also have Ascended Master Mataji. I don't work with the yogi, but it's a beautiful card, and it's Crimson Culprite, Relief and Repair, and it kind of reminds me of Ramon's backdrop behind him with the multitudes of the kaleidoscope. So he's wearing his halo, and I saved the best for last. The goddess Pele and her lava stone melt into divine desire. This is my favorite. So, and that's what I have. And what would you like
It's
to share
really
in your
nice.
crystal
You
card?
actually shared a lot of the stones that I was going to share.
But you can
I
still share
guess
your.
well, I just wanted to share the comparison between these two. This is red jasper,
Mm-hmm.
and one is raw, and the other one is polished. Look the
Humble. Yeah.
difference. Like how it shines the light. It's amazing, right?
Beautiful. Mm-hmm.
There's other stones that have red in them that are not exclusively red, like for example, unakite.
Mm-hmm.
Look how beautiful that stone is. For like red with a combination of green, um, red jasper, which I just showed, and in this beautiful deck, it invites you to take action. We have sunstone, which comes in different shades. There is a shade that is very red as well, and it says take pleasure in the things you do. Yeah, and some of the ones that I was going to share you showed already. Um,
Thank
but
you, Miss Carol D.
you look great in red.
Ramon and I are twins today. We're playing Gemini.
Glasses and everything. A little bit of white.
A little bit.
Or yeah. So do you know that 78% of all national flags in the world display red? So that amounts to 148 out of 196 countries. Red is commonly used due to its historical and cultural significance, symbolizing courage, sacrifice, and struggles and victories of the nation's peoples. And red has been such an important color throughout history in art, politics, identity. And could you change the screen so I can show some illustrations? You know,
I thought
um,
the bigger screen would be able to show you better.
that
You know,
to
your
be able
images.
to, because this is wide.
How
So
about
let's
if I do this? Hold on a second, Ramon. Let me do this instead.
just me.
Hold on.
Love
Yeah,
it.
and you can hold the picture then.
Not that much, but yeah, that'll do. All right. So let's talk about red and the historical significance. If we look back through different periods in history, we have, for example, in prehistoric art, and these are prehistoric images from found in caves in different parts of the world. France, Spain has some of the oldest ones, and they're done with ochre or black paintings, and some of them have images of animals, dots, geometric shapes, and some of the oldest ones date to 65,000 years ago, which is 20,000 years earlier than modern humans, which are about 45,000 years. In ancient Egypt, and here I have a sample of a mask of a king. In ancient Egypt, red was associated with life, death, victory, but also chaos and evil because of its connection with the desert. The god Set, who represented chaos, was often associated with the color red. If we take a look in ancient China, and if you see a lot of decorations in China are red. In ancient China, red is a color of good fortune, happiness, and prosperity. It's commonly used in celebrations, particularly in weddings and New Year festivities, to ward off evil spirits and to bring luck. In ancient Greece and Rome, link was linked with war and the god of war, Mars, or also Ares in Greek mythology. Roman soldiers wore red tunics and was considered a color of courage and power. How beautiful that image is, right? What do we have next? Christianity. And I didn't bring any illustration because we all know that red is a powerful symbol in Christianity representing the blood of Christ. Um, and his sacrifice in the cross, or but not also Christ, but also Christian martyrs. Um, and it's used in liturgy in representing the Holy Spirit as well in Pentecostal. In medieval Europe, red was a color of nobility and status. It was used in the robes of kings, cardinals, and high ranking officials. It also symbolized love and passion, often featured in romantic poetry and tales. During the Renaissance, red continued to symbolize wealth and power, frequently appearing in the clothing of wealthy and in artwork. In the colonial Americas, red
Hmm.
was used by the indigenous people, and different pigments of it uh, to represent war, but
Wow.
also symbolizing strength and energy. In
That's
modern
beautiful.
times, right? It's
It's gorgeous.
amazing.
Amazing art.
Yeah. hmm Here's an image of a Renaissance painting with red,
Mhm.
with the Virgin. Beautiful, right? In modern days, in the political sense, red is the flag, like I mentioned, of different countries, but also political movements like socialism, and other ones, right? In fashion, and in art, red has transmits a very powerful image, a very powerful vibe to clothing. It symbolizes also passion, love, excitement, but it's used also to draw attention. And who better to represent that than
There we go. Yeah.
Madonna? Look how beautiful she looks in red. She usually wears black, but
Yeah.
yeah.
And I loved her in
hmm
the Fever video where she had her hair in red too.
hmm
She looks good in any
hmm
color. She really
Yeah,
does.
definitely. So it also has a psychological impact, right? It grabs your attention in terms of food. It stimulates your appetite. We're more prone to foods that are red colored. And an example of that, I'm not. I don't eat candy. It's rare for me to eat candy, but if I do, I like jelly beans, and I usually go for the red jelly beans.
Yes. Same with me.
And
Anything in red.
yeah,
Yep.
hmm um, it's used for branding, like I mentioned, as the symbol of a lot of different companies. It's used as a symbol for uh, medical, right? Medical and safety. Psychological effects. The exposure to red can increase the heart rate and blood pressure. It's used in safety applications as well. Red is universally used in safety equipments and signals. Yeah. So, but throughout history, I mentioned that uh, clay with oxidized iron was used as early pigments for in cave paintings, but there's other materials that have been
Me too.
used to be able to obtain red as color. So we have, for example, cinnabar, which
Which
you
I
mentioned
showed.
before.
Yeah.
Cinnabar is a bright red mineral composed of mercury sulfide, and cinnabar has been used since antiquity. Ancient Romans used it extensively for frescoes and other artwork. However, due to its toxic nature, the use has declined.
Yes. You have
hmm
to be very careful with that.
Yeah. Uh,
So beautiful.
Cochineal. Cochineal is an yeah, it's an insect um that native from the Americas, and it grows in a cactus, grows in cacti, and it's been harvested colonial uh since the Spanish came to the Americas.
Hmm.
Cochineal was only second to gold and silver in terms of value.
Hmm.
Why? Because of its dyeing properties in fabric. So there's a lot of ancient documents that talk about the value of cochineal, which animals were its enemies, etc. And the
Wonderful.
way they harvested was that they will
Yeah, that's how you
remove,
pronounce it.
yeah, yeah, they will remove it from the cactus and let it sun dry. And once the body was dried out, they will crush it and mix it with water, and that will create a very vibrant red. Pigments that come from organic sources are the best ones for fabric, like in the sense of cochineal is still used,
Hmm.
but it's used in a different way now called carmine, which is an extract from cochineal and is used in lipsticks for dyeing fabric. And I think you don't see it termed that way. I think it's called red 1B40. That's what carmine is, if you see it in as an ingredient.
And they also
Um,
use it in here, according to my book, to color M&Ms, to sausages, to red velvet cupcakes, and cherry Coke.
yeah.
It's
still
a fruit
used, and
from
it
Russia. Yeah.
comes, yeah, it comes from insects.
Yep.
So it's organic sources of red are the best ones for fabrics. If we use mineral ones, they've never been that good because you need an agent to be able to attach it to the fabric. So that's why cochineal and some other extracts that from where we got red were best ones, like madder, for example. That's
Mm-hmm.
the root of a
Mm-hmm.
plant.
Yep.
Yeah. And madder produces a very bright red, not as bright as cochineal, but it's as one of the sources to be able to dye different objects.
And really quick, all these colors and stories that Ramon is sharing can be found in this book, The Secret Lives of Color, the cochineal, everything, the matter. All this is mentioned and gives history and stories, exactly everything, plus more of what Ramon is sharing. So I recommend, getting this book if you're into colors, or if you go to Barnes and Noble and you just kind of want to have something to kind of look at while you're having a cup of coffee. Look up your favorite colors. That gives the histories and stories behind the colors.
Hmm. All right. Let's talk about red foods. What red foods could you mention that you can say? What
Strawberries,
strawberries? Yeah,
apples.
strawberries.
Yes.
Apples. You know, with apples, I'm very picky with apples. I love apples, but the only let me be specific. I only like one type of apple, and it's the red delicious. That's my favorite one
They're
because
delicious.
it's crispy. The other ones like Gala, Macintosh, I'm not. I really don't care about. But
And
red
hibiscus tea.
delicious and hibiscus tea.
Oh, it's a flower,
Hibiscus
so I
tea.
really can't. It's like a flower and a food.
Yeah, yeah. So we have ketchup. It has a sweet and tangy taste to it.
Tomato.
Sriracha. Sriracha is red as well, and it's made from chili peppers, vinegar, garlic, sugar, and salt. We have hot sauce, which comes from a variety of different chili peppers. We have salsa, which we with the nachos, right?
Mm,
Um, and it's a combination of tomatoes, onions, chilies,
red
also.
peppers.
Hmm.
Yes. Lobster.
Chili paste as well. In terms of red flowers, we have roses. Roses are maybe like the most iconic ones that
Hmm.
when we think about a red flower, one of the first ones that come to our mind. We have tulips,
Like this.
carnations, yeah, poppies, hibiscus, and hibiscus has the property that you can make a tea out of it, and
Hmm.
it's widely consumed in Jamaica in Christmas, and it's consumed in Mexico as well all year round, and it tastes so good. It's like nature's fruit punch.
Miss Terrell D wants to know real quick, Ramon, do you put apples in your potato salad?
I do, I do, and I put
Really? Never heard of
celery too.
it. Okay.
Celery. But with potato, with mashed potato or potato salad, I don't peel off the skin. I use the skin as well. That's where
And there
like
was, oh, sorry.
no, a lot of the nutrients are in the skin.
And Sainted asked, don't forget the tapatio.
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 Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know what a tapatio is. Neither does Miss
We're talking about the same thing. The sauce, the
the
tapatio
sauce.
sauce. Yeah.
So that's like a sriracha. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it's a hot sauce. Thank you, Ange.
Yeah. So red fruits, we have tomatoes, red bell pepper, strawberries, cherries, raspberries, red grapes, watermelon. I love watermelons. Every time I see a watermelon, I buy a whole watermelon and I just eat it like in 2 days. It's so delicious. My dogs like it as well. It's
Yeah,
so
I associate
refreshing.
that with pink, the watermelon.
Yeah, yeah. Pomegranates. I love pomegranates, and I
I don't, but
use
they're
it.
beautiful. Yeah.
And I use it for magical properties as well. Um, uh, watermelon. Pomegranate season is usually towards late fall, early winter. And what I do is I keep a pomegranate next to the entrance of my house, and that helps absorb a lot of the negative energies. I actually have a video on it. I have a whole ritual of how to dispose of it as well. Pomegranates are amazing.
And pomegranates are associated with the high priestess also in the tarot
With
decks.
fertility, they're associated with fertility as well because of the
Mhm.
amount of seeds inside.
Yep.
You know.
The story of Persephone and Demeter.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. We have red apples, of course, beets, cranberries, red onions,
Mm.
radishes. What do you set into?
Cranberries. I don't do
I
cranberries.
like cranberries. I like
They're
cranberries.
too tart, too stuff. Yeah.
I like red onions as well, radishes, red cabbage, red potatoes. And they have a lot of nutritional value because of the colors.
All righty. So I'm just going to take a little poke. Now, this is a book. I don't think it's still available, but if it is, I highly recommend it. I've had this since 2003 or six. Um, this was a special edition book that came out with a group of others from Barnes and Noble, and it's called Healing with Crystals and Chakra Energies. And it's by Sue and Simon Lilly. They're from the UK, and they break down the colors and into each section. So they have, the double page for red, as we were talking about the red card, um the cliches about the red card, but something very interesting too. The effect of red on the eye is quite unusual. For the color to be seen, the eye itself makes internal adjustments. This alteration means that we see red objects as closer than they really are. I thought that was interesting. Unless you
Hmm.
already mentioned that. If you did, I'm sorry,
No.
because I've been trying to keep up with what you're sharing and with chat. Um, and it says here, put red in your life when there is a lack of enthusiasm or interest in life,
Hmm.
um, a lack of energy, and a feeling of overtiredness, and an inability to make your dreams a practical reality, or a feeling of insecurity, unwarranted fear, or anxiety. And really quick, this is for entertainment purposes only. Anybody watching on playback and for YouTube, this is just us sharing holistic different beliefs, and not actual medical advice. And with the color red, that can be done in a shirt, it could be a scarf. It could have be a plant. Anything that is in your visual or in within and around your person that emanates the color, we can absorb into our bodies, into our light bodies, and help balance those chakras that are within us. Um, and I think that was the only real, because a lot of what you mentioned has been brought up in here. Um, And red can easily lead to excess, as its own nature is impulsive and reckless. Drunken
Hmm.
behavior exemplifies many qualities of too much red energy. So, watching how much
Hmm.
you drink. So, but yeah, this is a wonderful book. I love this book, and like the one I was mentioning earlier, "The Secret Lives of Color." I think I might go and, but share a little bit, maybe on a different like with poetry or something. But the colors that Ramon were mentioning in here with the reds, they cover scarlet, cochineal, vermilion, rosso corsa, hematite. Because even though hematite in its tumbled form is a like a gray, I think
Hmm.
in liquid form it becomes a very red. It's a really dark, rich red. You have the madder, which is a base for a lot of color and pigments in art supplies, and Dragon Split. So I mentioned this, but I've been saving something special before we share our favorite cards with our colors in it. You ready for this, Ramon?
Go ahead. I am
Alrighty.
ready.
You are red. Are you
Ready.
ready?
I'm
Is
ready.
everybody ready? So a few years back, this came on the market, and I just had to get it because I'm an be just not being an artist, but being going to school and studying the masters. Marco Ruffino came out with a tribute Masters collection.
Put. Why
Okay.
don't you put yourself on the big screen
Oh,
so we can see
okay.
it better?
This
Better.
is true.
Hmm.
Doop. And there we go. And so it's a tribute to the Masters collection. And what's really cool, and this is, I'm going to turn around, is they took the main colors that an artist will use. and they associated each color with a particular artist. Now, for red, because Matisse used a lot of reds, they
Hmm.
associated the red with Matisse. And what's cool is these come out, they're like booklets. They come out like this, and they put one of the artworks. So this is a still life done by Matisse. It's the background. This was very revolutionary back then. Matisse was a part of a group of artists called uh, the Fauves, or known as the Wild Beasts, because they were unconventional and animalistic to traditional fine arts artists and the academies, especially in Paris and in France. And so he was part of that movement of bringing creating and using color and colors that were not local. Like instead of painting a white wall, if the wall was white, they said let's paint it red. So it was that type of thinking and exploring color intuitively on a visceral level. And what's beautiful too is they now put the pencil, and then this opens up like a book.
Ah, what a show off. Oh my God.
And here's the
Seriously.
pencils. And then on here, they put the information. And I know Ramon, you can really appreciate this. And so Andre Matisse, they give you the artist, they give a little blurb about the artist and the colors that are contained in here, similar to the ones that he used. So we have dark orange, light red, vermilion, light vermilion, red, coral red, geranium red, carmine, light carmine, and burnt carmine. I was hoping they might have had a alizarin crimson in here at one point, but it's just absolutely beautiful. So this was the dessert. Harmony in Red is the name of the art,
Mm.
the artwork by Matisse. So yeah, there's one for Monet for purples. There's one for Klimt with golds. Um, so yeah, I'll probably be pulling those out later when I do my other color things that I want to do. But that was something too special I wanted to bring to the show today. And
What a show off.
I'm not
That is
showing
beautiful.
off.
All
If I
right.
really
Let
wanted, I would have brought out all my color pencils, all my paints. And stuff. Now this, but yeah, it's
let me show off then with something red
okay.
related. And I think I showed it at another video. So this is an artwork that I did
Yes.
using red. You might have want to appreciate it a little bit further out. And it's a bowl. And this is a combination of acrylic with paper. So if you take a closer look, this is hand cut paper, all these
Hmm.
different details over here. But what makes this painting, in my opinion, powerful, it's red in all its shades. Just imagine if it wasn't red and it's blue, right? It wouldn't have the same strength.
I get.
So red definitely has a psychological impact. I made this painting a few years ago, maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, and I love it. Yeah, the
Hmm.
bull.
Yep,
Bulls
and
are
like
so
Nancy said,
powerful in
Red
terms of
Bull.
strength.
Yep.
Hmm.
Wow, very cool. Hello, Tila and Teresa. Thank you for sharing that again. I have a lot of artwork, but a lot of it's been wrapped up and packed away. So from when we were getting ready to move, let's see. So I really couldn't pull anything out. That is so beautiful, and what a great gift for an artist. Yeah, I treated myself to that. So everything was well done. I've been wanting to use the pencils. I use them a little bit, but unless I know I can afford another one, I don't really want to use them.
You
Is
have
there
me on the big
nothing
screen.
that? Oh, sorry. Is there nothing that Ramon can't do?
No, there's a lot of things. I'm
I just
just
adore that Ramon.
share with you a little bit of things.
And
There's
oh,
so
what a
many things
powerful
I would love
piece.
to.
Hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah, Ramon is very talented. We have a nice
Thank you.
lovely circle. A lot of times tarot readers, because we are intuitive, we're already going to be naturally creative. It's just something that's, we're all inherently creative, but when you start working with people who use oracle divination, that's tapping into your creativity deeper, your intuition deeper, deeper create, because to me creativity is and intuition is all part of spirit. It's the source. We're creators. We're part of the
Hmm.
creation of life, which is, the base color of red. So we all have that innate um, ability to create and express um, ourselves in that way. And Miss Tarot, oh, and Empress says, I'm still waiting for Ramon's poetry book. She's not going to let you up on that one, Ramon, until you do
Nah,
it.
I might do it as a deck. Who knows? That's still in the works.
And Miss Tarot D,
Um,
so grateful to have him as a friend and a part of the community. He brings so much to the table. Yes,
Thank you. I'm honored to have
he
you
does.
as a friend as well, Miss Terrell. Thank you.
And I love that you're both sharing things that mean a lot to you. Hold on. When I have to mute myself, I'm like, you can keep talking, but with the airplanes and stuff going by. And Nancy says, I love that you're both sharing things that mean a lot to you. We get to enjoy it as well. Aw.
But he lacks.
Good looks, he had to make up any creativity. And that's a joke because we all know that
Oh
Ramon is very
no!
much easy
Don't
on
make
our
me
eyes.
blush.
T-Lynn, fashionably late. What was your color coordination plan? Yes, T-Lynn, this is we're talking about the color of red today.
Red.
So yes,
Hmm.
that's why we're all in
That's
red.
why we have red shirts. We're drinking a red drink, hibiscus
Yep,
tea.
red hibiscus tea.
We've been talking about red in all its forms, food, art, etc.
Now, just really quick, I'm just going to share a few cards and then some of the fun part, the music.
All the
So
music.
some cards that I want to share out of my decks that I just absolutely love the reds in. And this, I just want to share a few. I absolutely. That one's called The Face You Put On for Others, Your Ancestry. I love the reds and the golds from that one. And this one here too, the intuitive heart. And this was what we were just talking about, stepping into your true destiny. And this has a lot of representations of red, the red feather, the red heart, the red
Mm,
rose petals. Um, just really, the
that's
brain is right there,
beautiful.
even represented. Yep.
Wow.
Um, and I have the hopeful heart. An exciting surprise is coming your way. And they use the world tree also, connecting the heart, being grounded and being rooted in the love in the heart of yourself with the red. Um, Another glorious one, the recovering heart. Step onto the road to deeper healing. And this all this artwork is by Jenna Della Gratalia. She is now pretty much doing her own decks and working with other writers besides Colette now. Um, and Into Temptation. So again, the reds based with the Christianity. It's interesting that everything that's supposed to be bad is red, and yet they chose the red for their colors for their cardinals and their their papals and all that stuff. So,
Yeah.
but
The blood
Into
of Christ too.
Temptation, yep, and
And if you
Into
think about
Temptation.
it, if you think about it, a lot of churches have a red door, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and
And then
it
it's
symbolizes protection, like in the story of the Bible of Passover, marking your door with lamb blood.
mm-hmm. Color Fire, the Passion of Fire, and also too. Let me show you that one, the Beloved. And when it comes to directions, fire red is in the southern um, section of the medicine wheel,
Hmm.
and it represents the place of fire, of change, transmutation, transformation, and is represented by the salamander, the dragon. So it's another color of purification, purification of spirit on your journeys. So, and
That's
as I
beautiful.
mentioned earlier, just really quick, the red, oops, perception, and she's wearing the beautiful red shoes. And the red's focused in here, and of course, one of the favorite from the Pre-Raphaelites. Love the red dress. Absolutely love that. And we mentioned, I think Ramon mentioned when talking about flowers, poppies. So
Hmm.
there's some beautiful poppies. We also have beautiful, huge hollyhocks that grow here, and their heads are like this big. They're absolutely beautiful. Um, and just a couple. Now, I was disappointed. I didn't realize Colette Bear and Reed left out Pele. So it gets redone over. We need to include Pele, but we do have Spider Woman. I love the reds they used for her.
Beautiful.
For Kali, Kalima, Parvati,
Parvati. Uh-huh.
and Freya. We learned about Freya with Kristen Louise a couple weeks ago on the Divine Feminine. And Freya, not only is she a warrior, but I picked her too to represent for the red is because she teaches women how to embrace their sexuality, their sensuality, and not be afraid of covering your bodies or being ashamed of your bodies. It's a lot about self love and exploring your sexuality as well. So, and then the last one, Lilith, all about independence. And she talked about fiery, temptation or I know it's going with Eve, but with Lilith, it's she ended up becoming known as like the temptress, the evil one, one that would not lay below Adam, and so on and so forth. But she's the one that really personifies red, that fierceness, that standing up for what she believed in. The to me that's the positive aggression of believing in oneself and standing for one's uh, beliefs and standing in their
Hmm.
power. So Lilith, definitely for that. And Mandy says my dog's name is Freya. Very
It's a
nice.
nice name.
Hmm. And so, Ramon, do you have any cards that you would like to share?
Yeah, well, I have this Lenormand deck which I really love, and it's called Elada, and it's inspired in ancient Greece. It's a Lenormand deck by Alexander Danilov, and this is the first edition. And I love the packaging. It's very simple, but so much fun. And the beautiful thing about this deck, it follows the Lenormand tradition of the imagery with names and everything, but with an ancient Greek style. So, like for example, here we have the clover, and it has the name in Greek and in English. It's the clover. This is the rider, which is card number one. Oops. Clouds, the tree,
Ooh, I like the tree.
the house. And it's not red, but it's has that shade of ochre, the bouquet, the coffin. Look how beautiful that coffin is.
Oh wow, I'd like
The snake.
snake, and that doesn't bother me. That's cool. I like that one. I'll get
Some you
behind
like that snake?
that. That snake is
Is
fine.
it palatable enough for you?
It's palatable.
The fox, the owl. Look how beautiful that. Well, this one's the bird. It looks like an owl. I
Oh,
love
it's an
owls.
owl. Yep.
Uh huh.
La Santa Muerte.
Uh huh. Bear. It's beautifully done, and the backs are nice too. Look at those backs. We had the whip,
Ooh, very cool.
the scythe, the child. Yeah, and the whole deck follows that beautiful style. Stars. Look how nice that one is. Stars. Let's see. The ring.
The one ring to rule
Yeah.
them all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Nancy says, gorgeous images, Ramon. I know. I like that. It's very, very nice. So many different shades of red. Yep. 50 shades of red. And really quick, Amanda, while Ramon's getting some more decks to share, it's not the human spirit, it's the healing oracle, heart oracle. by Jenna Della Gratalia, and I was also pulling from her Resurrection Oracle that just came out. The Human Spirit is on my list, but that is by her, but I do not own that one.
No, it's just plugging my Mac because I got a message that I was running out of power.
Oh,
Strange.
well, we have been out for we're at 111. Woo! Interesting
Look at that.
numbers. Yeah, and Beneficial
I have a
Tarot joined
sun.
us. Well, that's
Hi,
beautiful. That's the
Ben.
sun. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's a beautiful deck, and it has that shades of red, which combined with black, like the contrast is
Makes them
beautiful.
pop. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So
And
Ben,
Ben
we were
says,
talking about colors, the color red specifically. A lot of things with about red, um,
Ben,
starting
remember? Yeah.
from
Oh,
its
sorry.
physical properties and then historical symbolism, uh, things with red, etc., etc. So go back and take a look because it's been interesting, right?
Yes. And Ben, I'm doing this with Ramon like when I had done the color tangerine with Tangy a couple of years ago. So I'm just
Mm-hmm.
continuing this series. And I still had red to do, and Ramon was gracious enough to join me for the red. And let's see, what's this? Allison, Miss Tarot D Scout told me to let you know that his collar is a beautiful shade of red. Aww, that's so sweet. That would be a great title for a book. What would be? I'm confused. But all right. Do you have any other cards you would like to share?
No, I think that's it.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think, well, actually, just a couple cards really quick from this new deck that I got. It's the Artist Decoded. It is AI. So people don't like AI, you can please turn away. Avert your gaze, as Gerald would say. But the Emperor, just beautiful touches of a lot of red in this deck. Again, the power of how black and red work off of each other, and black with other colors. That would be the Hierophant. The Justice was amazing too, with the gold. And of course, I wanted to bring the feminine energy into it with the Empress, from like when we did with our poetry the other night. So I wanted to share that. And another wonderful book that I just got, and I'm going to be doing some shows with, is a book called Color Astrology. And the author calculated, using numerology, astrology, she put together a color for every single day of the year for people who were born on those days. And she worked with the Pantone coloring system. So each birthday of the year has a color that she did with her analytics and associating with what colors she was drawn to for what the information that she had she had compiled and associated a color with it. So it's a wonderful, fun book. And I saw that you were using like little paint chips, from the
Mm-hmm.
store. In this book,
Yeah.
she also includes little chips that you can not, they're not actual paint chips, but they're color chips, so that you can take that to any store and have them create a color for you from it because it's based on the Pantone series.
Mm.
So, and just for the heck of it, let me flip through the reds and see which one I get. Sangria.
Sangria.
Sangria for people who are born April 11th. Intuitive, theatrical, intelligent. Very nice. Um, Wearing, meditating, or surrounding yourself with sangria encourages you to take action and helps you balance the mental, emotional, and physical aspects of your nature. So, a very fun book.
What's mine? May
Um,
24.
I think I read yours. I think you're green. Let's see,
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think you're right.
May 24th. You are a seedling.
Oh
You're a
yeah,
seedling.
yes.
You're helping us grow. You're planting little seeds of knowledge into us. But this is you, mentally agile. You're analytical. You brought this whole presentation with you today, and you're very sensitive. You carry a wealth of information, and you love to learn. Your thirst for knowledge is ravenous, and your mind usually works overtime. You have a sensitive and emotional side, that is hidden under an array of facts and figures. It is important that you find a balance between the analytical side of yourself and the side that nurtures spiritual awareness. But I don't think you have that. You have a nice
Hmm.
balance, I think, between the both. So, but yeah, I think that described you very well.
I think so.
And
Yeah.
yes, Mandy,
Thank
he's
you.
handsome.
Ugh.
Let's keep making Ramon blush,
All
ladies
right.
and gents. And gents. And See the Mystery. Hello, See the Mystery. You look new to me. Welcome to our chats. I'm watching from Southeast Asia. Welcome. Your
Oh,
deck is
nice.
wonderful. I like it. Beautiful. Well, thank you for joining us. Today we're talking about the color red. Um, let's see. Yes, Nancy and Ramon now is now a favorite teacher of mine. Yes.
I'm just a student from all of you. I learn from you as well.
March. Oh, Allison wants March 21st. Okay, Allison. Well, if anybody would like to know, even though the color will probably not be may not be red, I'd be more than happy. Let's see. So May 21st. Actually, you sort of got a little bit
March
of a
March
red.
21st. March
Oh,
21st.
oh, March. Oops, I picked May. My bad. April, March. No, you are a basil. You're
That's a
basil
nice color.
or basil, as Richie pronounces it. He named his cat Basil. She's beautiful. I love the name. So, Allison, you are Basil. You're innovative, expressive, an originator. You're likable and fun to have around. You seem to know what position to play when you are interacting with other people. You have a quiet self assurance that lends you ease in communicating or dealing with others. It is important for you to be active and to learn new things. Basil, wearing the color keeps you young and thriving. It can also be a strong aid when dealing with finances and health concerns. And your compatible birthdays are September 30th, November 21st, and December 25th. And Ramon, I didn't give you yours. What was your birthday again?
May
April
24th.
or May 24th?
May 24th.
So,
I like basil. I have a basil plant in my kitchen. It needs a
and
lot of water.
yeah. So it'd be interesting if any of these dates resonate with your sweetie. Compatible birthdays. She presents three, but they're not limited to these three. But it's interesting; they're all 14. The number 14.
Hmm.
February 14th,
My brother is close to
April
that date.
April 14th, and September 14th. So
Hmm.
it's interesting. That's the
Interesting.
first time I've seen all four, the same number. Very cool. So, oh, Nancy. Okay, May 17th. Nancy, you are henna.
well, well, how can't you, right? Henna. Oh, beautiful. I love that
And
shade.
henna, there's a little bit of a red undertone in with the henna.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Committed, dependable, and driven. Um, you often feel driven and have a definite mission in life. You take on your desires with complete conviction and fervor. Although you are passionate, you also have a gentle quality that people may not see. Oh, we see it. You are intuitive and have an awareness that can be used to direct and achieve your goals. Your home life is important to you. Your personal color helps you stay calm and balanced when you are avid about something. Wearing, meditating, or surrounding yourself with henna helps you stay flexible and open to new possibilities. Compatible birthdays January 3rd, August 8th, and October 28th. You're welcome.
Interesting.
So that was for you, Miss Nancy.
And if it's red base to be that shade, it's mixed with this complementary color. So there has to be a level of green mixed with red to be able
Mm-hmm.
to, because if you mix complementary colors, it comes out brownish, right? Like a muddy color.
Mm-hmm. And you can use them to actually, instead of using black or white, you can use analogous colors. You can use
Hmm.
complementary colors to get different shades, get different tints. And
Yeah,
create a
because in
whole different
reality,
type of palette. Yeah.
yeah, in reality, all you need are the three primary colors. From there,
Mm.
you can get all the different shades and colors. But it's a pain in the butt to do it. I've done it.
Yeah.
It's like, ugh.
Oh, I love playing with color palettes and everything. I just enjoy them. So many color palette possibilities, so little time.
Mhm.
November 2nd. Okay, Patricia's good to see you. We just finished discussing the color red, which you used um, do they call them avatars, pictures, whatever? I don't know what they call them these
Mm.
days. Patricia, raspberry wine. Do you drink your raspberry wine while you're wearing your raspberry beret? We didn't do the music yet,
The
Ramon.
music, yeah.
So
And we
for
didn't
you,
mention animals either. Let me mention
oh,
very quick
but
some
we
some
will get
red
to them.
animals. Red animals. So we have the red fox. The red fox is more like orangey. We have the cardinal bird, which is the northern cardinal bird has a red plumage and is found in North and South America. We have the ladybug. How can we forget the ladybug? Such a
Mm,
beautiful insect, right?
yep.
And these are small beetles that are red with black spots, and they're found worldwide. We have the red panda, and they're native to the Himalayas in southwestern China. We have the scarlet macaw, beautiful bird, right? This very large, colorful parrot. We have the red-eyed tree frog, which is native to Central America. We had the Siamese fighting fish, the beta. It comes in different colors, but red is the
I love
most
betas.
traditional one. Yeah. The red squirrel. Red squirrels, they're found in Eurasia, and they're known for their bushy tail and ear tufts. Red coral, which is a which is a marine invertebrate, and it's found in the Mediterranean, mostly in the Pacific Ocean. The red variety. There's a red velvet ant, and it's despite its name, this insect is actually a type of wasp. The females are wingless. They're covered in bright red velvety hair. We have the fire salamander, and they're found in Europe. Um, fire, actually, salamanders in the Middle Ages were considered the best representation of fire. We have the Red Sea cucumber, and it's a marine animal found in the Red Sea. And for last, we have the red hartebeest, which is an antelope species that has reddish brown fur found in southern Africa. So we have in nature red animals as well.
Wonderful, beautiful. And Patricia, just to finish off, and then we'll get to our music. So the raspberry wine, empathetic, transforming, responsible. People born on this day tend to carry a great deal of responsibility. You care deeply for those closest to you and are often of service to those in need. People come to you for advice and understanding. Your color helps you move through the emotional turbulence that can occur as life unfolds. Wearing, meditating, or surrounding yourself with raspberry wine reminds you to stay on course and not allow others to sap all your energy. And your compatible birthdays are September 4th, October 21st, and November 11th. All righty. And red shoulder hawk is another one, or I think she means red tail hawk, maybe, unless there is a red shoulder hawk.
There is a red shoulder hawk,
Okay.
but it's
Bye,
sort of like
Miss Tarot
it's
D. Thank
by
you for
Miss
being
Tarot
here.
D. It's a beautiful bird.
Oh yes. And then there's also red wolves too. There's a type
Hmm.
of reddish when it comes to and we can't forget the chow chow. My Piper was part chow chow, but you got the beautiful reddish orange fur of the chow chow for
Mm.
the dogs. All righty. So
Red songs.
red songs. Of course,
The first one that I can think of is the one from UB40. Red,
red,
red
red
wine
wine. Yep.
goes to my head.
And, yep.
Yeah,
I
there's that.
actually liked the other one that they did. Can't Help But Falling in Love, that remake with the
Mm-hmm.
movie Sliver. That's my favorite UB40, but I
Yeah.
digress. Go ahead.
There's there's Red by Taylor Swift.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know much about Taylor Swift, but
Tay Tay.
yeah. Uh-huh.
I like Tay Tay.
There's Little Red Corvette by Prince.
That was
Little Red
Little Red
Corvette.
Corvette.
Uh-huh.
You're
We have
moving much
99 red
too.
balloons.
Yes, Nena. Loft
99
balloons.
red balloons. Uh-huh.
Or
Red
Luft balloons.
Barchetta by Rush. Red Rain by Peter Gabriel. Red House by Jimi Hendrix. Roses Are Red by Bobby Vinton. Red Dirt Road by Brooks and Dunn. And Red Right Hand by Nick Cave and
Dave.
the Bad Seeds.
And you know what TV show that appeared on? Here's a little bit of TV trivia.
Mm.
How I first came across that song was from the 90s when it appeared in an episode of The X-Files.
Oh, really?
And it's on their soundtrack, Songs in the Key of X. And Red Right Hand was in there in one of the episodes. Yep.
Yeah. And it just occurred to me, well, raspberry will be sort of like a shade of red, right? A
Yeah,
little bit.
Raspberry Beret.
So you have by Prince.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Of course, the Red Shoes by Kate Bush. I
Oh, I
know there'll
love
probably
Kate
be
Bush.
other ones to think of afterwards, but another that popped into my mind wasn't a song, but it was a book. One of the favorite books I read, having to read in school, the Scarlet Pimpernel.
Mm.
I didn't like the Scarlet Letter. That was awful. I hated reading that. But
Mm.
the Red Pimpernel. Oh, is it the Red Pimpernel or the Scarlet Pimpernel? I think it's the Scarlet Pimpernel. To me, that was a great book. That was fun to read. Lady in Red, yes, by
Lady
Christopher.
in Red. How could we forget that?
We were
Oh my
starting to sing
God.
that in the beginning too. So
Oh my God.
yep.
That's like the first one, right?
I always laugh when I sing that song. Instead of singing Lady in Red, I always sing Lady in Drag. I don't know why. It just seems to fit. Drag seems to fit better than Lady in Red, but no, that is
That
a
was
beautiful
excellent,
song.
Amanda. I can't believe
Yes.
we skipped that.
Yep, Allison's a Cali girl originally. Um, yeah, music. We'll think of something. And a lot of times songs too. Put on your red shoes and dance the blues. Let's Dance by
Mm-hmm.
David Bowie. So we can't forget that reference to red shoes. Oh, the red slippers, ruby slippers from The Wizard of Oz.
Mm.
That one in there too. I was going to fit that into the poem and I forgot, so now I have to remember that. But yeah, lots of colorful songs. So I've been wanting to do a series, Ramon, of color poetry using colors.
I was just thinking about that. Just I swear, like just right now. It would be cool to have a show and go through like different colors
Yeah,
in poetry.
that would be fun. Gee, I wonder who would join me on that.
Yeah. I mean, I will definitely. I'm a given.
You're a given.
Yeah,
And
you
anybody
already
in
have
chat
me.
who would love to join um, Ramon and I.
Yeah.
Allison, you said you can't write, but I'm sure you can
Everybody
write
can
something
write.
beautiful.
Everybody can write. It's
Miss Nancy, Miss Tropical Empress. Yeah, Amanda, I went to your channel really quick to look for an email to invite you on with Nancy and I or Allison and I on a Friday, but I couldn't find an email. So when you get the chance, sweetie, if you're interested, email me.
I
My
have her email. I have her
oh,
email. If she's okay, I can forward that information to you.
okay, so we would love to have you on especially with Nancy, because that's how we met Amanda. Was through she stopped by, came across Nancy and I doing our Divine Feminine, and said hello, and yeah, we would love to have you on, my dear. I don't know, maybe I can. Actually, I think I said that I don't write, but maybe I could.
Mm.
Yeah. Once you start doing it, it's so much fun, you know.
I
Whoops.
think I froze.
Uh
Let me come back.
and then there was one. I guess the power of the poetry. But yeah. So wow, 1:30. We've been on for an hour and a half. So yeah, that's okay. All right. Yeah, we would love to have you join Nancy and I. And now Allison's off school. We'd love to have you on too as well. Well, yeah, yeah, Tom, you missed it out pretty much. Well, we're waiting for Ramon to come back. Um, the power of poetry compelled him to leave. I come. Yeah, I'll have to share that with him. That's funny. So yeah, people in chat, please subscribe. Tom here, early ritual. Allison, yeah, we rhyme. That's fine. There's types of poetry that rhyme. So yes, you're fine. Nancy, Tropical Empress has a channel. Um, my co-host here has a channel, and this is so funny. Tom, early ritual, came in and he goes, I come in and Ramon runs scared. Too much, too funny. So, but yeah, everybody, please go check out everyone's channel in here.
Mhm.
Everyone's wonderful, and I don't know. And Allison asked, "Will you allow me to rhyme?" I'm like, "Yes." You know,
Whatever your
both
style
rhyme.
is, it doesn't have
Yeah, we
to.
all. Yeah,
Poetry is like so open. It's such a just a manifestation of your thoughts and your soul. You don't have to follow like any type of style. Just whoever you are.
exactly.
Hmm.
And Tom says, "Come, Allison, you can rhyme. Don't worry, Jeff does it
Yeah.
all the time. Share your words, not for the
I
bird.
actually,
Share your words.
I,
He's rhyming. Look
yeah,
at, he's rhyming it.
showing off his skills.
Show your
I
words. It's
actually,
not for the
I actually
birds.
prefer poetry that doesn't rhyme, like free verse, open poetry.
Yeah, but whatever is your
But
shtick,
whatever is your,
you know, that's that'll work. So, wow, that was fun. And so before we go, Ramon, was there any other information, little fun facts that you wanted to share?
No, I think I shared it all. We talk a little bit about everything: foods, animals, it's history, art, psychology, physics. So I think we covered a lot in terms of the color red.
And there's
Yeah.
always room for more. There's
There's
always
always room for
room
more.
for more red. Yep.
Stones, yeah.
Yeah. um, Going in and learning deeper histories behind certain. I have a book. I couldn't find it. I didn't see it, but it's about yay big, and they just talk about pigments and where the pigments come from for colors and how they
Hmm.
use it throughout history too. So it's an ever and again too. I didn't bring out, you know, all my art supplies except for my lovely little book. Oh yeah, Tom, you have to watch. I have this beautiful, lovely little thing that I shared here with everybody. So, whoop, oop, who came falling out? Oh, Escher. Escher came falling out. So they focus on Escher, Van Gogh, Cezanne, Renoir, Degas, Klimt, Matisse, and Monet. Though what did upset me was there was no female artist included in this.
Mm.
And female artists keep getting the shaft. And there are so many amazing, especially in art history. They left out Bert Marisol. They left out Mary Cassatt. They left out Georgia O'Keeffe of all.
Keith, Frida Kahlo,
Kahlo, yep. So they
so
need to
many.
make one with all females.
Yeah, send them an email. Suggest that.
It's been a while since I've had that, but I should.
Hmm.
And Nancy says this has been fun.
Thank you for
Hashtag
being here.
replay game. So, Ramon, what you got coming up this week?
I might have some pop-ups, unannounced shows coming up. Just stay tuned. On Saturday, I'm gonna be at Ginger Phase channel. We're gonna be talking about a paranormal topic, the Mothman of Point Pleasant in West Virginia. I'm very excited about that because I love that topic.
Me too.
And yeah, but that's on Saturday. But throughout the week, uh, you might see me around. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. How about you?
Um, so actually, oh, this is so cool. I love colors. I just found out the process for making Tyrian purple. And you know what, Patricia? I just learned about that color today going through this book. They talked about that. So that's awesome that you share that. and I can't wait for the ginger face show too. We eat all that stuff up here. You know,
Mm.
Bigfoot. Shan actually saw a real Bigfoot when he was a young child. He's seen, ETs. So anything that we watch on shows, this is just all fascinating to us. For me, what's today? Today's Tuesday. Um, I don't really have anything planned for Wednesday or Thursday. Friday, Allison and I do our show um, at 8, and then Sunday my poetry. But with my new AI deck that I absolutely love, I want to do a flip. Cause I even still haven't seen all the cards myself. I already shuffled them, but I would still love to share the cards. I may even do that later today. Pop back in a little bit later. Do some live reads. And who knows, maybe there might be some insomnia tarot at some point this week
Maybe.
where I
Maybe
might
in
not,
orbit. Maybe.
maybe. So,
So I'm sure I'll see you sooner than
oh, I'm
than
sure. And to
expect.
end the show, Ramon, this is perfect for the color red. Garnet has arrived,
Garnet. Hi.
has helped us to end the show. So, Garnet, we've been discussing the color red and all of its various names and shades and beautiful tints. And,
And properties.
aw, Nancy, my darling. Oh, how sweet. Oh, my goodness. That's so, so sweet. So, yeah, what a wonderful way to end the show. So, everybody, keep an eye out. You never know when a pop up might come on. And
Mhm.
Ramon and I, thank you for joining us. And
Yeah.
I'm
Go
going
to
to
our
hit,
channels and
yes,
click the all on the part that
the little bell.
notifications. Yeah, the little bell, the notification. Click all, and you'll see all notifications of our channel's activity.
Yep, Garnet is red. Exactly. And just a little fun coinky dink as we head out as I'm looking at my stream yard. The live is background is red. The end stream is red. And the StreamYard logo for the camera
Hmm.
is red. So, on that note, everybody, have a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you later.
Blessings to all.
Bye.